afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another splendorous Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to a 1 versus 1 on La Glades breakout here with Stephenn fighting for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 30th Guards Rifle Corps. Holding the line as the 111th Panzer Brigade here under the command of Aerohank charges forwards for Deutschland, trying to push back the Guards Rifle Corps and crush them. We've got Guard Rifle Armored Assault and Soviet Shock Army here for Stephenn versus Defensive Festering Support and Jaeger Infantry. Definitely an unusual collection here of commanders and certainly a bit old. Sometimes in last Guard Rifle Combined Arms tactics actually being utilized here as well. So pretty interesting stuff there, and you might know, oh wait, we already had a fight with Stephenn yesterday, but this one is pretty damn exciting. Also, you know, I really couldn't wait longer because there's going to be a patch out later today, on the day I'm recording it is, so, you know, rather had to do it or not do it at all, and I'd rather do it because, again, really good fight here. Got Pioneers down the right hand side, we got Grenadiers plenty here for Aerohank. Stephenn going for plenty of conscripts as well, heading sort of westwards, centrewards with his conscripts and combat engineers. Troops arriving. As for the Panzer Brigades, they were basically smaller armoured formations created after Operation Backration in Normandy as a means of rapidly creating a smaller series of armoured formations, specifically actually meant for sort of dealing with the Soviet forces, rather sort of strategically and tactically created with that in mind. They were sort of very small, potent armoured formations. In theory, they were just some problems. In particular, they were generally very, very short on training. In most cases, they maybe had a month or so of training before being thrown at the enemy. Worse was, they in most cases were actually sent off against the Americans, which rather operate a lot differently than the Soviet army. So that created some problems there as well. Against there versus the conscripts. Points there being secured. We got a very early mortar here from Aerohank. Very early, of course. He's probably expecting a lot of fighting sort of centre around the building. Says, of course, a mortar in that regard, of course, is a good choice. Sort of dislodge the communists and blast them out of their hidey holes. But still, sort of very interesting opening there, nonetheless. And all here we got is some very aggressive play there from Stephenn, taking advantage of the low amount of infantry there from Aerohank to sort of hit the flanks. Instead of sort of engaging centrewards, he's hitting sides and such. Going here for the car points. Also note here, very aggressive sandbagging as well. Sending up here to basically also make it very difficult then for Aerohank to dislodge him from there. So really some nasty aggressive play. They got Pioneers engaging the conscripts here on the right side. Bit of nasty shooting going on there between the two. Mortar fire left and right, there we go. We got a support weapon company here, already going off in Stephenn, so 3 conscript support weapon company here. We got additional grenadiers while we are running for Aerohank, getting a bit more infantry there. Question is, of course, then what will Stephenn go for in response? Will he go for a mortar to counter Aerohank's mortar? Will he go for a maximum? Or will he go for something else? And there's definitely options. Then again, this reacting Aerohank fall back here. He can't really assail this position easily. He's going to need some mortar, something else to clear it out. Conscripts moving ahead, no upgrades for them. Quickly securing buildings and likes. Dimitri took a shot there down the street. Need to cover that mortar and there go dealing with the conscripts again. Stephenn again playing very aggressively here. Another Pioneer in their way, but if Aerohank, he might consider them very rapidly. Some flamethrowers here to sort of deal with Russians. Oh well, Pioneers to the flamethrowers might be able to sort of help Stephenn. And there we go, he is getting a mortar of his own. He is getting a mortar of his own. An aggressive play there. Grenadiers might. Oh, they actually trying to deal with it from here. They could try to move up a bit closer. Conscripts falling back here. Conscripts moving ahead. Field infirmary up for Stephenn. We can hear the report there in the background. Conscripts rushed off. Both there. That should open up things for Aerohank a bit more. As all of Stephenn's infantry is sent running. Also, an additional note about the Panzer Brigades is they're actually very light on artillery. They at most have mortars and a few sort of Stuka-Fuß to support them, and anything beyond that. So, additional fun fact there about this more unique armoured formation that saw service in World War II. Conscripts being reinforced. Engineers being hit there with flamethrowers. We've got flamethrowers up here for Aerohank as well. He could maybe consider taking up rather aggressively in response here to Stephenn as well. Maybe rush something forward. We've got a bunker up here, so medic bunker on the way. Flamethrowers, rifle shots, there you go. The engineers are taking heavy losses. And there you go, Stephenn's about there to bombard his opponent's mortar. Will Aerohank respond there with a barrage of his own on the communists? And there you go, flamethrower pioneers moving up there, burning away. As mortar rounds continue to fall down all over the place. Also a few units sneaking up there. Over here then, might be a bit too soon for Aerohank to spread out that aggressively, considering how it's already been pressured. But of course have to see how it actually works out. No tech up there, instead he's getting an addition, and an MB-42, not an additional one, but just an MB-42 here to keep things at bay. Stephenn setting up his mortar ready for some bombardments there against the fascists. Bit exposed there, quick flank here, the pioneers got cleared out, at least force it back. Grenadiers mortar moving up there, we've got Grenadiers what they take up position here as well. Another benefit from an early sort of take up there from Aerohank could be quickly getting some light machine guns up, for example. Pioneers are pushed off by the conscripts. Mortar falling back, moving up there, securing buildings, advancing. Right flank, they're being heavily harassed here by Stephenn sending in 2 squads. And he's by the way going for guards, a rifle, combined arms. It's certainly been some time since we've seen that in action, actually. But he does offer up something for his conscripts, offers guards, rifle infantry, howitzers, and air support. So there's definitely a few options there for Aerohank, for Stephenn in that regard. Of course, the question is what will Aerohank go for in response to all of this? There we go, a bit of burning going on. Those there versus the engineers. There you go, hit the dirt available now for Stephenn's troops. And we immediately see guards having to call up here to support the defense of this sector. Both units are falling back as mortar rounds threaten to, well, basically wipe all out. Sort of versus the conscript in the defense here to protect the fuel point. Pioneers need to move just within, just a bit further forwards. Bit further, no, managed to push back. We might see the conscript close to getting wiped out, but looks like they won't happen. You could maybe stop up, fired a bit more flamethrower there versus them. Aerohank there, a bit too close, considering, you know, the enemy mortar firing there going down. And Stephenn's getting a second mortar. He's actually getting more artillery here versus Aerohank. So Stephenn's adding in a small mortar battery, it would seem. That's definitely going to make things more, well, unpleasant for Aerohank here at the moment. Taking up this down there, like to make a nice company, might be an idea. Guards rifle infantry, there you go, getting off a grenade versus the mortar and wiped. Even as he's trying to get the enemy mortar there. Then guards rifle take up the blocking position in the building with the DPs, making it very difficult here for Aerohank to operate. Grabbing away the mortar there as pioneers before setting up here to fight the enemy mortar as well. And there we go, conscripts operating behind the lines here as well. Very aggressive play there, very aggressive play. Pioneers moving up there. They could consider rushing straight for the enemy mortar. Looks like he's, no, look, yes, moving in. Nope, falling back. But needs to be worried here, of course, about what's operating here behind him. Units moving ahead, mortars getting a kill there on the guardsman. Advance is stopped by the enemy force just up to cover there. Apparently Stephenn did not rack the time. There we go. Conscripts moving up further behind Aerohank's lines. Very dangerous work there, very dangerous work. He's got very little to respond with these two occupied with here things, so he's going to need to quickly get some troops ready and move forwards. Also, like to make a nice company again, would be a very good idea to get up soon. Conscripts there taking losses, MG crew there also. There's it caught in a very bad position. Looking very ugly there, looking very ugly. And we got 2 mortars here now for Stephenn, basically bombarding Aerohank's front lines at the moment. So we're all a pretty risky and dangerous situation here. We got the Like Mechanized Company up. Stephenn doing his best to keep up the pressure at the moment. He's also got plenty of fuel. And he could right now probably easily go for the Tank Battalion Command already. Guards are moving up there, conscripts being reinforced. Noting no Molotovs or anti-tank grenades here, and of course with the mortars they're available to him, of course he can easily get by with dislodging enemy positions without having to use it. We've got mines going up from Stephenn as well, further pushing his advantage. Guys are moving up the centre. Stephenn there rapidly reacting by pulling back the mortar there. Real, of course there might be enemy moving up to deal with it. Panzers are going to deal on the way. That's one option certainly. And he can catch the mortar crews at the right point or just help dealing with the enemy infantry. Losses inflicted, we got some pilots moving out there with the minesweeper. Looks like a tripwire flare mine went off. Not entirely sure where. Guardsmen advancing, conscripts sneaking up the flank there. Mortars again being used to secure territory, but at the same time, you know, pushing up. He's probably realising Aerohank doesn't have the resources to respond to that. Aerohank here just now focused on taking the centre away. And his mortar again getting mortared by Stephenn. Panzer Grenadier arriving. Will they be able to help him turn the tide here against the Soviet advance? The advance of the 110th already bogging down. Panzers need to deal with these conscripts. There we go. Further mortar for. Oh! Damn close. They're all just sort of forcing them back to retreat already. More tripwire mines there from Stephenn. He's really putting down a lot of mean gun here. Basically helps slow down the advance, also of course alert him to it, and of course also then provides easy targets for his own mortars as they become revealed. Overall, pretty nefarious there by Stephenn. Pretty clever. And we got plenty of munitions caches now for Stephenn as well. Good lord, he's really taking that advantage of building up in several ways, so prepare for the longer fight. But 2 munitions points. That could definitely result in some rather nasty things there. Guardsmen moving up. He could have also been using all that resources to sort of quickly build fuel caches or an early tank battalion command, but either way, interesting to note here. Mortar cleared out again. Got an additional Panzer Grenadier unit here arriving for Aerohank. Got Pioneers dealing with the conscript on the left flank, and there you go, hit the dirt. Pioneers need to get the hell out of there. As they're close to getting wiped out. Overall, a pretty rough situation here for Aerohank. With 2 Panzer Grenadier squads amongst other things, he might be able to have a chance here, maybe push it back and win for Deutschland. Standing by. Even as mortars continue to rain down here on the assault zone. Not recruiting his mortar there. MG42 not sure what it's supposed to do. Looks like he's going to sort of, instead of trying to attack head on, going to try and outmaneuver, catch Stephenn's positions there, a bit off guard, and that way charge it. Good idea there by Aerohank. Instead of keeping on attacking the same spot over and over, change the approach, change the axis of attack, try to catch him off guard that way. There we go. 1 mortar crew force away. That's 1 mortar less bombarding his assaulting troops. Then he should probably try and swing in through here and then sort of attack into the side. Mortar falling back, conscripts moving about their guards and ready to sort of meet the fascist attackers. And there we go. Tank battalion command up here for Stephenn. He could very quickly then get a tank. T-70 otherwise. Good guard infantry exposed here to an awful lot of fire there from the Panzer Grenadier and Grenadier. Mortar crew there in a bit of trouble. Same time a few units operate, and mine went off there, wiping out almost the entire unit. Stephenn definitely getting a lot out of his mines and his mortars basically breaking up, in particular all those more expensive Panzer Grenadiers, which is really what Aerohank is at the moment relying on to really get him through here. I mean, in that regard, it might be actually be an idea if Aerohank had added himself a half-track. That way, he could have reinforced him at the front line and kept up the pressure here versus Stephenn. So that might actually have been a very good idea there, if anything. A half-track. A command bunker, I suppose, could also be, but the problem is, with all those mortars about, it probably wouldn't last too long. So that would be a thought there to consider as well for Aerohank. The troops reinforcing, rebuilding. Taking up might also be an idea. We got mortar rather on its own there. If you could spot it and clear it up, might work out. M40 coming in the centre. We got Aerohank playing a bit spread out. Mortar hit down the conscript. We've got a T-34 around there. Stephenn very quick to get armour there compared to Aerohank.
We are ready for action.
Reinforcing. And we got a 3rd munitions cache. That is very rare to see. 3 munitions caches there from Stephenn. He is getting a lot of it, which will certainly open up for a lot of submachine guns if that is what he wants, but also mines, demo charges, strafing runs, a lot of sort of options there for Stephenn in the support department, basically. Aerohank, on the other hand, has yet to choose a doctrine, for example. He's got a bit of munitions. He could, for example, consider some light machine guns for his grenadiers, and I'm a bit surprised he hasn't done that. Maybe he's worried about the squad wipes there from the mortars or something similar. You could also, suppose, go for Jaeger infantry, get some Gear 43s. Or, considering he's constantly being bombarded, Festung support might actually be the key here. Getting that relief infantry up, so at least that way sort of minimise the overall losses he attacks, allowing him more infantry to that way pressure Stephenn back. Smoke bombs could also help, for example, as well there a bit. Mortar half-track can also be one way to sort of help him deal with the enemy mortar without constantly suffering a wipe of his own. And there goes Stephenn. Note what he's doing. He's laying down a smoke screen as he's advancing. In this case, basically expecting, okay, there's going to be something here. I'm going to lay down a smoke screen there so he can't put some using MD42 from there. Good job there. Good expectant, I suppose you could call it. Smoke screen. Grenades going off there. In this case, the 2 Panzer squads they provide quite an opposite sort of counter-attacking. The one unit already taking heavy losses. Grenades going off. Heavy loss on both sides. Both Panthers, though, were taken rather heavily out there. T-35 meanwhile attacking up. Do have a pack 40 here, though. Mortar lost again. And now, we do finally have a doctrine. It is Jaeger infantry. Which does, I suppose, open up for some upgrades there for the Grenadier with the Gewehr 43s. Ambush, tactical movement and such, though not sure I would recommend it. And there we go. Machine guns have PGH-41s. Saying straight into the Grenadiers. MG-41, there we go. Hitting the dirt, hitting the dirt. Looks like the pack 40 there. No, didn't look like it almost. And they've got mortar moving up here. Stephenn might in this case have actually made a tactical misdecision. They've got rifle grenade units trying to set up. And there we go. Most of the units wiped. One shot finishes off the last man standing. Boris. Aha! I am the last. Oh, never mind. T-34 by the way, quickly moving over for the pack 40. Reacting to elsewhere, and he's actually trying to take away that mortar. They probably should also consider grabbing that one, in which case he'd then have the mortar advantage versus Stephenn, which could certainly be a good idea. And we've got Panzer Strikes instead. That's only one way sort of more mobile. He helped keep the T-34s off his back. Made it a bit more difficult for Stephenn to sort of reign freely with it. Concept with guards for the attack up to the right flank, pack 40 exposed. Aerohank is providing a bit more resistance here versus Stephenn now. But Stephenn is keeping up the momentum and certainly providing quite the difficult opponent. But this time here for the mid-game analysis, current situation is Aerohank is sort of slowly gaining ground. He's got some anti-tank now to sort of help deal with things. He's got Panzer Grenadiers, he's still in a mortar, though he should definitely get the other mortar as well, I think. And he's starting to begin to bleed out Stephenn a bit more aggressively now. He's gone for Jaeger infantry again. I'm not entirely sure I'm a huge fan of that particular choice. Again, festering support. Maybe actually defensive doctrine could also work out with the trenches sort of, for example, help his mortar survive the enemy mortar. Could have been an idea. Also survive just getting attacked directly head on, at least for a bit. They would also force Stephenn to get Molotovs, for example. Could also add in a pack 43, which could have been another option for dealing with armor. But in the end, Jaeger infantry, let's see how Aerohank actually ends up using a few Gewehr 43s. Could probably also help versus the conscripts and the guards infantry, provide a bit more lighter mobile firepower. And certainly nothing that could be dropped to the enemy in a case of a full wipe. For Aerohank, well, his options are should probably involve, tagging up, going for armor. A safer choice might be, going straight for Panzer IV or some Studs to help deal with it, or a flak Panzer to, for example, sort of rush in rapidly and maybe clear out, for example, the mortars and other infantry. He could, of course, if he felt bold for it, play straight for the Panther, take up there and get that. That would certainly, provide him with a bit more heavier armor. Certainly something that would be a lot harder for Stephenn to actually sort of take on and handle. So Panther in that regard is probably not an entirely bad idea and certainly an interesting idea. For Stephenn, of course, he's under a lot of being pressured a bit more. He's got a bit of sort of weakness there in terms of armor. He's got one T-34 to basically deal with things, and Aerohank is giving up the response to dealing with that. And of course, he then gets armor. Of course, he's going to have to deal with that. Stephenn can't basically sort of either keep playing for more T-34s, or he could figure, there might be a chance of something heavier coming and going for the mechanized armor company, adding in an S-85 somewhere in between to sort of ensure himself a bit better. Of course, he could also just play with field guns, sort of deal with the enemy armor that way, whatever it might be coming in his direction. So that's certainly also an option there for Stephenn to consider. A bit more infantry might also help. And of course, he could also be one to try and grab this mortar and turn it against Aerohank. More mines and the like, of course, also good. And I suppose otherwise, he might try and use all this munitions he's building up towards sort of save up for some Sturmweg attacks, and that way sort of keep Aerohank's infantry pinned down, which of course will force Aerohank to maybe get a flak panzer or something similar. But let us return to the fighting. Whoa! That was one hell of a Panzer barrage. But there you go. Pack 40, Panzer versus T-34, engineers forced away, mortars firing away. Veterans too, by the way. Right here, of course, he could try and use tactical advance and quickly advance on it with the Pack 40, which I believe is also actually affected by it. But also the Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Strikes. So that could actually have been one reason for using it right there. But oh well. Guardsmen moving in straight to the Panzer Grenadiers, quickly forced away. Bodies so they do not make it out. Aerohank is now getting a bit more confidence there versus Stephenn. He's got a bit more firepower. Well, he might want to consider already pushing those panzers back for reinforcement. He certainly cannot afford to lose them, partly because of the elections, but mostly because of the panzer treks. Too much resource there. Conscripts hitting the dirt here to sort of make it a bit harder. In this case, you should not be running straight up to them with the panzer grenades. I mean, that only gives them an advantage, their close range, and would hit the dirt. In this case, though, Stephenn did end up retreating here, but that was a bit of a risky move. And there you go, another smokescreen here, I believe, from Stephenn. Oh. Where did that come from, actually? Neither mortar crew seems to have sort of been given there. I'm going to guess then it was Stephenn that laid it down there, since it could be explained with a swift cooldown. Interesting nonetheless. There we go. They'll force back to his base, though, for the time being. Hitting the dirt there again. Getting mortared, though. Tag up there. He's going straight for the 4th tier. He's going for Panthers. At the same time, though, Stephenn's adding in a howitzer, which is definitely going to make things a bit more pleasant here for the infantry, trying to make it harder for Aerohank to actually pull off a solid defense. He's going to get hammered there, and of course it also puts his base in the risk zone. And trying to make some mass retreat a very, very dangerous thing there for Aerohank. Troops are getting bits around it. Stephenn though counter-attack. Oh, Aerohank counter-attacking. There we go. Third battle phase up. And there you go. Tiller going straight down here on the main road. Things are dangerous. Things are dangerous. Goes in a bit of trouble with the conscripts. There we go, hitting the dirt, forcing him to completely retreat there. Mortar not recruit. You should probably right now, I think, recruit, pull back the pioneers, then set up the heavy panzer corps as soon as possible to sort of get quickly ready for the Panther. There we go, we actually got a smoke screen going up here from him now. Smoke screen. Attack 40 moving up, Panther goes to Panther Rex. And where does it happen? Almost got the T-34. Apparently he was expecting the armoured assault to come to attack to be there. I suppose again in that regard he was pretty anticipatory. He's going to attack through there. Western any most like to have something, I guess there. Lay down smoke screen there. So rather interesting, rather interesting. Of course he might have spotted it from some other angle, then laid down the smoke screen there either way. Very nice drop there, very solid use of smoke there by Stephenn. Very much, you know, something I would easily recommend other players to try and emulate, because again it pretty much meant, you know, all of that stuff couldn't fight his tank so easily, but in this case it probably should have been a bit out faster with it. Second T-34 there being added. Aerohank still not building that heavy panzer corps, point there being secured. Demo charge there, and there we go, the Soviet Air Force has been sent in, covering the point right there. Almost a full wipe there. Sturmovik laced in. 73 munitions per minute. Absolutely insane. Contras roaring up there, and there you go, but quickly forced away the bun grenade. Important there secure, cleared out the demo charge. Stephenn wasn't quite paying attention. Hiding in buildings and the likes there from the Soviet Air Force. The men of the Panzer Brigade are sadly lacking in their panzers, but continue up the assault nonetheless. Conscripts were running straight into a Panzerschreck. Piotr turning out to be not quite as resistant as he thought he was. Veteran 3 artillery going down there, and looks like the mortar was finally completely wrecked. And the other mortar got cleared out again. Now Stephenn's got 2 tanks out on the field. Can't just sneak about there.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
A smoke screen again. I mean, he's launching an assault here. Where's then likelihood to be enemy anti-tank around here? Pop down the smoke there. Well executed by Stephenn. Really some good smoke use there. Clever smoke use. Again, very much something I'd like to see other players emulate and really sort of try to incorporate into their play. Of course, there's some very solid tactical play there by Stephenn, since it pretty much means Aerohank really can't use his Pack 40 very much, and in this case might even allow the T-34 to escape. So very solid there, very solid. Perhaps something to do with the Guards, rifle infantry, sending them running. Shit collapsed. And there you go, heavy Panther Corps up. Closing in on the Panther, just about, if you can get a few points, just some more points, probably 2 minutes, or 1 minute, but like current moment it's looking about 2 minutes before you get the Panther out, in which case you might be able to threaten Stephenn more seriously. There seems to definitely have an upper hand nonetheless, even with the Panther out in the field. Since he's got the artillery, he's got the infantry, he's got the tanks, and that's going to be a struggle even for a Panther, in particular for a single Panther. DP light machine gun drop there, that could be something for the Grenadiers to secure. Interesting enough, he's not really used the doctrine at all. I suppose it could have been a misclick or just a decision there, which ultimately, he ultimately realised maybe that was bad in hindsight either way. Don't know. Rocket here versus conscripts. Looks Stephenn reacts though. Shifts them away. That's a second heavy hit there from the T-34-76 screen forwards. Almost victory in T2. Pack 40 moving up. Another smoke screen from Stephenn. And again, where do you think it's going to go? Right there. Exactly. Solid play there by Stephenn. Panther though, almost there. Just a few more moments. Flare mine went off there. T-34's rolling through the town, and there we go, Panther on the way. Panzerkampfwagen 5. And an artillery strike straight towards the base, causing heavy casualties, but no wipes though. Small blessing there, if anything, for Aerohank. They're still costing quite a bit of manpower. Using tanks to secure points. Well done, well done. He got the fuel point though. Oh, a bit late. And maybe to sort of keep fuel a bit more secure for a longer period of time, I might be able to get that Panther out faster, but there you go. Seems to be able to keep up a very good aggressive game there. And Aerohank's only ultimate strong to deal with things, because this is definitely not your most usual Soviet play, not dual mortars. Not a lot of T-34s just as quickly out like that, and certainly not a howitzer either. So of course I have to see what actually happens, but there you go. Panther ready. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Ready to take on the enemies of the Reich. Comes along to the Panzer Grenadier, taking loss. Looks like he only lost one squad though. So a small wipe there against him. We've got field guns arriving. Looks like Stephenn might finally realise, he's eventually got to prepare for something heavier. I mean, your opponent doesn't go for that long without getting in some armor unless he's getting in something, a bit more of a handful for a T-34-76 to handle. So there we go. Looks like he's setting up for a Western assault. Probably expecting an assault through there is going to be quickly bogged down, so it's going to go for here, where Stephenn's less prepared overall, had less presence overall. And there you go, Panther moving ahead. Shot fired there. T-34 almost down. Need to continue the Panther. Panther moving up there. Still going down. Can they get it off? Ramming it in instead. A clever tactical decision there, if anything, by Stephenn. Thinking, he's not going to get away. He might as well try to get a damaged engine. And as that happens, the T-34 strike at Aerohank's base. Panthers need to sneak away there. Now need to get that Panther prepared. Even as position is getting bombarded by the howitzer. Quite some action in this battle. Going to need to fall back. Get on. Woo. Well, that was definitely not intended for a bit of excitement. What the pop. And the Soviet Air Force strikes in as well. Troops there. Pack 40 trying to get up. Panthers need to get in as well. They're retreating. T-34 rushing straight into it. T-34 there with damaged engine. Panther almost ready. His Panther's ready. He knows where the path is. We could actually move it up there to deal with it, I think. Nope. Move too slow and looks like the T-34 will get away, but there's still one in the base here. Still one in the base. Need to save those Panthers to get the reinforcers to be at least more durable there. Pack 40 moving in. Almost got the T-34. There we go. Kaput. More T-34s on the way though, but now Aerohank said we've got a bit of a stronger chance here. Need to get to victory point. Need to push onwards. strike down the Soviet foe. Also, you should consider some Pentamat machine guns here for the Panther, or upgrade to the gunnery gear for the future. Either way, something to increase the overall anti-infantry firepower and rapidly advance here. Panthers with Pentamat machine guns generally do perform reasonably well versus infantry as well, in the open that is, so you should consider that. Mortar the exposed looks like he's not quite catching it. No upgrades for the Grenadiers. Another artillery barrage. Close there to veterancy too, by the way. Combining the base of Aerohank. T-34 hanging back there. More losses inflicted there upon Aerohank. His bunker down.
Yeah, we're ready for anything.
And veteran 2 there for the howitzer. Looks like the Guards were actually able to get back the DP. Sadly, Aerohank was not able to add it to his forces and their arsenal. Also, you could consider recruiting that mortar again. There we go. T-34 getting hit. He should engage when he should rise right past the field gun. I think go straight for the T-34s. Panzer goes doing what they can to support. Rifle getting it. Field gun kaput. At least the crew is dead and not going to rise anytime soon. But here's an opportunity to get those T-34s with the Panther, though it might be considered a bit risky. You could at the very least consider knocking out the field gun to ensure Stephenn can't recruit, since currently it's abandoned. But there we go. Conscripts all rowing ahead. And what is this? He's laying down a smoke screen, and I'll bet you it's going to be on the field gun to basically obscure it, so his crew can secure it safely. But there it looks like, in this case though, he uses one thing this smoke can't hide against: explosives. Still not bad. In this case, just keeping the conscripts nearby so no one can secure it either. At least not easily. Troops he needs to reinforce. He could continue using his Grenadiers, by the way, to use the Field 8 first kit down to heal them up a bit. But no, instead we got another medic bunker up. So looks like going down there after the Panther. Grenadiers not working well. Pack 4 needs to fall back. There goes. Now actually trying to get the field gun. We might be a bit too late. Oh, Pack 40 got off a hit there. Almost got it. There you go, medic bunker operational. Panther though needs some serious repairs. He's getting back the victory points though. Pack 4 needs to fall back before it ends up being handed over there to Stephenn and the Soviet army. But Stephenn's definitely been threatened a lot more now by Aerohank. Troops reinforcing. Aerohank could consider, for example, now adding in a Panzerwehr for a bit of artillery. Sturmpanzer could also work, or he could simply go for another Panther. At least try to aim for one. But definitely a bit tense here, a bit ugly.
Reinforcements complete.
The Aerohank so far is holding on.
The enemy still has 300 points.
There you go, Panther being repaired. Additional Pioneers might be an idea here for Aerohank to help repair it. Looks like we might soon have something happen here. Infantry moving ahead. Getting into the building, a bit risky there. Oh shit! Entire unit got wiped as they tried to enter the cafe. A single shot there from T-34 knocked out the entire unit. Probably should not have been leading with the anti-tank unit, if anything. But there you go. A bit risky. Doesn't always happen, but it can happen. Pack 40 opening up. T-34 down to half health.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And an airstrike there from Stephenn again. The third one this battle. MG42 in a bit of trouble. But sets up nonetheless. T-34 trying to get back there to the rest. Panther's going off though. Panther could flank in there. MG42 about to get cleared out by the T-34s. Mortifying it. Another smoke screen there from Stephenn. Another smoke screen. MD Crew White, and there you go. Smoke straight on his tank to ensure they can't be hit by the Panther or the Pack 40. Wonderful play there by Stephenn. Wonderful play.
Territory is out of contact.
T-34 being rolled back by the Panther. And there we go. Aerohank surrenders. Surprisingly, I chatted with him, by the way, after the match. He said, you know, with the loss of the Panther guys, with the Panther, actually rather felt like his chances weren't good, though. Looking here, he could probably wait it out a bit longer, had a second Panther or a Sturm Panzer which could help with, for example, the fuel gun, so that way deal with what Stephenn has. So, you know, but of course, I mean, so that could, I think, have been a very good option there for Aerohank. But either way, game over here. Either way, very nice fight here between the two players. Aerohank facing off against a very aggressive, so play very heavy with the mortars, all the likes there. Held on. Got a Panther, which definitely gave him quite the edge up there. Lost morale, though, with the loss of the Panther X. But also, you know, really nicely played. They were seeing really good use of smoke. Absolutely sterling stuff there. Easily recommendable there. Easily recommendable, and certainly something I think a lot of players should try and look into. Overall, good aggressive play. Never sort of held down one. Tried to sort of play around Aerohank, constantly flank him. Use of mines, and those 3 munitions cans also really paid off a lot in the long run, with a lot of strafing runs then being able to be called in thanks to them, probably. So very nicely played there. Of course, if we imagine, you know, Aerohank had called in another Panther, for example, of course, that would have been a bit of a short sight there in Stephenn's strategy. Of course, this is heavier armor, in which case he would have been forced to go up for a mechanized armor company, try to get on HA5 or at least a bunch more field guns in a short time as much as possible. So, of course, that could have been a bit of a chance there for Aerohank to sort of win the game, I do feel. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you some ideas for your matches. If it did, you know, that's amazing. And feel free to subscribe. Tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send me some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dating. Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.